Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Robert walking here from CoinOpTV, or should I say, what's going on, Infinity Collectors, as this special podcast is going to just feature me talking about the Disney Infinity closure, the big announcements, sort of confirmation special podcast that we got this week. Oh, let me mute my sound there. I'm live streaming. This is live and interactive. And I have what I have is a list I printed up of my top 10 questions surrounding the Disney Infinity closure. If you didn't hear, I made a video yesterday, a little vlog talking about the Disney Infinity closure, Avalanche Studio closing down. All the details of this are not out yet. We're sort of finding things out. Specifically, John Vignacchi has been very silent as far as specifics. I know it's probably under lock and key on that, but we did get John Blackburn and some other people confirming things about the Disney Infinity shutting down. Anyway, it's a bummer news. It's sad. It's business. You know, video gaming is a business. This is what things I said in my vlog yesterday on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoinOpTV. I've been making Disney Infinity videos since the announcement, since before the game came out. Me and Haley went to GDC. That was a good 4 years ago or something like that. And we interviewed Matt Sully, great guy. First time I met him, demoed the game for us, got to get some figures. I think they gave me a t-shirt that I still wear every once in a while. And you know, all around it was like a great time. Making gameplay for Disney Infinity, doing unboxing videos of the toys, having the Marvel and the Star Wars characters and license was tons of fun as well. So I just thought, you know what, the game isn't dead quite yet. It's going to sort of, you know, breathe for another month or so until the end of June, and then who knows what's going to happen. But I have my list here that I've sort of printed out. I'm live. I'm looking over the chat to see if anybody wants to have any questions or chime in on anything. I see Josh B is in chat. Josh, does everything sound and look okay? You know, I'm still kind of getting the hang of these podcasts, these Google Hangouts podcasts. I want to make sure that the quality looks and sounds good for you guys, so I can continue to make high quality videos for my YouTube channel. All right, so top questions surrounding Disney Infinity's closure. So that means Disney Infinity, the game, won't be anymore. Avalanche Studios is closing, 300 plus employees losing their jobs. My shout outs to all you guys involved in the game, the studio. I hope that you guys land on your feet and do well. Prototype says sounds and video and picture looks good. Okay, thank you. All right, so number 10 is how long will the toy box be supported? So if you didn't know, Disney Infinity has this fan-based creator toy box mode. We can go in and make toy boxes with just about anything. You know, it's about kind of a smash-up, a mash-up of lots of stuff, lots of characters, scenery, different things that can go in the toy box. And thousands of people out there making toy boxes. And what they do is they sort of upload them to the Disney Infinity server, the hub. I'm not quite sure what it's called. And then other people can download those toy boxes to play at home and use some of the toys and figures in there. And that's something I've been live streaming a lot, is different toy boxes and showing off different gameplay of toy box creators, people like Mighty Jitus, Baron, Jason, a lot of creative people out there, Pirate Steve also. So what's going to happen with the toy box? How long will it be supported? I hope it's supported for, you know, another year or two, you know, at least maybe 3 or 4 years. Who knows? That's a big giant question mark. How long will the toy box be supported, where people can sort of upload their content? You can download it. I was watching the Diz Kingdom podcast yesterday, and Roger was sort of saying, hey, if you got some empty slots and there's some toy boxes and stuff like that, you may want to download those right now and fill them up on your hard drive, because who knows how long that server is going to be up. Let's see. Jimmy says, definitely sad news. Wish they would have made more figures. DM Girl says, I wish we could keep the toy box service. Yeah, I hope that's a thing. Mr. Marvel says, what's up? Abe says, hey, what's up? Abe, if you want to jump in on my Google Hangout, let me know. I'll send you a Hangout request, and you can just kind of jump in. I'll have to grab my headphones. Let me know. Let's see what else we got here to help. Trevon Yates says, "Hey everybody," and Brian Bruce says, "Make more room for Skylanders." I think Skylanders needed more room. I mean, they're definitely one of the top toys to life genres, and now they'll be. I think Skylanders is the top toys to life genre. I know a lot of you guys may be Disney Infinity fans, and I'm here to talk about Disney Infinity, but I've always said that I've enjoyed the Skylanders gameplay experience more so than Disney. But you know, the Disney had those cool characters and properties and the figures. You know, they hit here. Abe says, "Share 1 second." All right, who knows? Maybe Abe will jump in here and join my Google Hangout. I better grab my headphones if he does that. All right, let me get on to number 9. So number 10 was how long will Toy Box be supported? Number 9 is any chance that we'll ever get a Disney Infinity 3.0 Power Disc binder. So this has been one of my pet peeves. So I've been collecting these Power Discs. I don't have any here. I don't have any props in front of me, any figures, but there's these round and hexagonal Power Discs for Disney Infinity. They've been releasing them since day one. There's, there must be over about 75, 80, maybe even 100. I'm not quite sure. And there's a couple more coming out before the end of the game. And in the beginning, they had these cool Power Disc binders. You can get ones at like Toys R Us, Target, Walmart, GameStop. Some of them had different colors. You know, it was really great to sort of get the binder. You collect the Power Discs, you kind of shove them in the binder, and it all just kind of made sense and fit. They didn't do a binder for, I think, one of the series for like the first game, the third series, something like that. But because there was alternate binders, you could sort of makeshift something. But we never got a release for the Disney Infinity 3.0 Power Disc binder, and it really bugs me. And this is something I've said to JV in person, because I just feel like I've got stacks of Power Discs laying around. You know, you always have to have 2 stacks. You know, you have the circle ones and the hexagonal ones as a stack there. And it would really be great to somehow, I don't know if this could be a Kickstarter or what, but it would somehow be great to have a 3.0 binder or something to, you know, put all those Power Discs in. And you know, that was just a weird thing that like you'd ask them things like that. Hey, is we going to get that? Is there a company going to make those? And they would just be like, I don't know. I wish so. Maybe. So that would be number 9. If there's a chance we'll ever get a Disney Infinity 3.0 Power Disc binder. Jimster says, I hate that the figures go to waste. Well, it's an interesting point. I mean, toys are toys, and first they're a toy and a figure, and then they go on a portal or Infinity Base or whatever they call it, and they come to life in the game. Now, your game, you might get bored of that game, or your gaming system, you may trade in your old system and get something new and not be able to play that old game. But the figure is always going to still be there. It's always going to be this thing that you can have on your toy shelf, your collectible shelf, and your glass case. I had an Ezra figure out on next to my TV, and I turned on my TV early and I bumped it and knocked off his lightsaber. So I was a little bummed, but I like to have, you know, some figures around just so I can kind of check them out. Abraham says, I'm ready for you. Let me grab my headset here, and I will. This is unplanned. Abe's going to attempt to jump into my Google Hangout. Hopefully his audio and pictures is all good, so we can sort of you know, jump into it without, you know, any crazy interruptions. Stefan says, hey Rob. Prototype, do you think there'll be private servers like on the PC like Vanilla WoW? Maybe that might be a thing. What's going on, Kieran? There's a lot of people in here. If I'm not giving you shout outs and talking too much in chat, you know, just bear with me. Let me try and Google, let me try and add my man Abe. Let's see how this goes. Hang on here. Abe, I gotta find your Gmail. And Abe, can you DM me your Gmail real quick? And I'll add you if I can. Twitter link. Okay, let's see. Abe, if you could just DM me your Gmail again, and I'll send you an invite, and hopefully this works out. Let me get on to number 8. So number 8, I wrote down, any chance we'll get a Disney Infinity 3.0 walkthrough guidebook anything like that. This is another thing that's been a little strange because Disney Infinity and Disney Interactive, they've been sort of sprinkling out information, like teasing you a little bit here and there, not really giving you like the full information on the the game and the release. It's been sort of a secret. Let me see here. Abe just sent me his thing. Let me see. Invite. Okay, I sent Abe an invitation. We'll see if he pops in. So they've been very secretive with their rollout of announcements and stuff like that. So I feel like that's why we never got really a guidebook, hint book, a strategy guide, I guess is the official name. Hey Abe, I just sent you an invite, so just join me if you can. I'm gonna send you a DM of the Hangout link also, see if that sort of helps the cause. We'll see how this goes. This will be the first. If Abe jumps in here, this will be the first time I've started a live stream and then had somebody jump in. What's going on, Caden? What's going on, Logan? A lot of people jumping in. That's good to see sort of the support. Kieran, hey Rob, do you think stores will sell the figures at a low price? I feel like there'll be like a blowouts and clearance kind of thing with the figures. Some people were sort of saying in comments that maybe the figures will become more valuable since they'll stop making them, but I don't know. There's like a bajillion of these figures possible out there. Boom. In stores. OMG, Abe is in the house. All right, let me give you an introduction. So Abe is a writer and a podcaster, Diz Kingdom, and he has just joined my CoinOpTV podcast. He's also a specialist in Disney Infinity. Is that a good intro for you?
Well, sort of specialist, but I'm just a lover of all Disney Infinity things. It's been a pretty tough few days, yesterday and today for us. So, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta keep our emotions in check because I met Abe and at least 50 other Infinity type people from the video game and stuff like that. So there's definitely a strong community out there. I think the community for Disney Infinity is more active and more stronger, and there's probably more adults that I've met than Skylanders. So that's been a big difference.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's a different group of people, but we all love our games equally, and it's just sad to see one go.
Yes. Let me give some shout outs. Let's see. Kieran says, thanks for asking. Infinity Fan says, Abe, it's sad to see that Peter Pan isn't coming. That's one of my points I'm going to bring up, Bjorn, in a few minutes. Jimster says, Abe, so you're getting some fan support. So let's see. Since you're jumping in a little midway through, so here's my list. I'm going down the list. 10 was, how long will Toy Box be supported? You got a quick answer for that? Or a quick guess on that?
I'm thinking servers will stay up for a little bit, but not for long, obviously. So if I know we tapped into it last night on our podcast. If there's a toy box you really enjoy, download it if you have room. Save it in your memory file in your console. And as far as game content, like Marvel Battlegrounds or even Nemo and the other newer figures that are DLC, hopefully it'll be up for a little bit longer than the toy boxes are, because eventually they will just be completely toys. They won't be playable at all if you can't download it. So, that's my take on that.
All right, let me get to number 9. You hear me okay? Everything looking, sounding good on your end, Abe? We're doing good?
Everything's perfect, yeah. All
right, we just jump right in, with the mid podcast guest. This is cool. I'm having fun. I love it. Ooh, I just went out of focus there. I don't know what happened to my camera. Okay, so number 9, any chance Disney Infinity 3.0 will get a power disc binder? Do you anticipate this being a thing? Can we kickstart this at all?
And I think that's the best chance we got if we started Kickstarter, and honestly, it's going to be fan made. It'll never be made by Disney. We don't even have a Series 3 from 1.0 Power Disc album. So, yeah, there's some cool people out there who are custom artists who also make awesome albums. So, if you guys really want their info, I guess you can reach out to Rob later. I'll give him the info.
Yeah, I know our mutual friend Dan has made some custom binders and stuff. And then part 2 of that is any chance we'll get a walkthrough strategy guide, which is a strange thing not to have a strategy guide for a big giant game like Disney Infinity. You think that'll ever happen?
A printed version, never. As far as a fan-made one online, I'm sure there are some out already. I know Dan from Disney Infinity Codes does walkthroughs very well, so I'm sure you can find some of that stuff there. But as far as printed, like the Prima guides like we used to have, yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
We got the Infinity Corner in chat says, I made my own Power Disc album, assuming Disney Infinity wouldn't make a 3.0. All right, make me one too. Send it over. If anybody has one, FedEx one over to me and Abe so we can put our Power Discs in there. That would be cool. All right, let me move on to number 7. So now that Abe's with me, he can chime in. So number 7 is top for people joining in. Let me just recap top questions surrounding Disney Infinity's closure. These are leftover things, question marks that I'd like to get answers for. So number 7, will we ever know why the Star Wars Rebels characters got that sneaking ability where suddenly they got an upgrade and they kind of sneak around or something? Apparently it's only the Star Wars Rebels ones. Originally we thought, well, that's got to lead to sort of a Star Wars playset, although with Rogue One coming out, a lot of people thought, oh, well, it's got to be a Rogue One Star Wars playset. Now, Abe, we did get officially notification in the last Next. I feel like we're talking in past and future tense here, but in the last Disney Infinity Next, they did say there would be another Star Wars playset. Do you think it was going to be for Rebels or for Rogue One?
I thought it would possibly be both. I thought it was at one point it would be like a Rebels playset, because I know that was originally something they were working on that didn't make it into 3.0. And the first year of 3.0. Then, of course, Rogue One, new content. Of course, you're going to want something like that. So at one point, I thought it was going to be one or the other, maybe even both. They did say it was going to be one. So who knows if it wasn't even a fusion? I mean, think about it. Rogue One takes place in the same time frame. So it's quite possible that maybe they could have done something that way. So I don't know. But I guess either we'll never know, or maybe something will spill after, in a couple of months. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to get the the Game Informer after the fact article or something to come out and maybe sort of spill. I feel like there'll be a Kotaku or Game Informer article, maybe sort of expanding upon some of these lost play sets or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got some people in chat. Steve Smith is saying that he hopes Skylanders won't close. Won't close now. I don't think this affects Skylanders. I think whatever things are going on with Activision Skylanders, those are already in motion and happening. Logan says he's bummed that they didn't make a Deadpool figure. Abe, did you ever think we'd get a Deadpool figure? Was that a possibility at all?
I don't think so. I mean, Deadpool is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I love the movie, and I love the character in general. But no, it just wasn't going to happen. Only because of the whole figure, the character acquisition type of thing. It's still movie rights are Fox. Disney doesn't want to promote stuff like that. As far as Activision goes, if I can chime in on that part, I think a lot of people need to understand that, Activision, they have such a huge scale. Like they've been doing games for years. In fact, they're so huge that they can afford the risk of having toys and stock. Disney, however, they don't like the potential of losing money. So the idea of them having, stock in a warehouse not selling kind of I clearly bothered them, because I mean, you saw we had statements from JV in March saying that the company was 100% behind them, and then fast forward a few months and now they're completely closed down. So yeah, it's all about risk, and Disney's not one to like disappointing their stockholders. Their fans, well, that's another story. So
yeah, it's a business, and we got to have the stockholders. Everybody has to be happy. Big giant, like Scrooge McDuck or something, big giant pots of gold money need to be in people's suitcases and pockets and bank accounts. And if that's not happening, then people sort of panic. This happens a lot with games out there. A couple of people in chat are asking me, Josh the Gamer says, how are Allison and John doing? Are they taking it easy? Well, as far as I know, I think John Vignacchi is actually on vacation, been traveling a lot. I sort of follow him on some of his personal accounts, so I've seen photos of him. He seems like he's doing well. He's publicly said that he wants to talk more when he can. He's got a little bit of you know, like when a company goes away or something, you have to sign documents, NDAs and things like that.
Yeah.
So he's probably into that. And Allison too, probably on a little vacation in Disneyland, relaxing, enjoying life. These people are okay? And like, we kind of consider these people our friends. I think John and you know, a lot of the people are involved probably going to be okay, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, they did lose their job. That is correct. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit harder for those at Salt Lake and Avalanche because, you know, obviously they're not in LA where, you know, they have Disney Interactive and consumer products headquartered. You know what I mean? Like they were just a game developer acquired by Disney. So it's going to be harder for them. As far as like JV and Allison and those out here in Glendale, it'll be easier for them to transition into another job within the company if they want to. You know, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to stick around with Disney. They could go somewhere else, you know. So, but as far as them, you can see they're still okay. They're loving the support. You know, keep sending them messages, thanking them for what they've done. Even though it was short-lived, you know, they still provided a great time for all of us. So. But yeah, they'll be fine. I have no doubt in my mind they'll move on. There's always jobs in the world, but unfortunately, there won't be Disney Infinity. So yeah.
And just to give you a perspective, one of the main Disney Infinity PR people actually moved over from Lego and stuff, and then joined Disney. So people move around in the industry. So you know, these people will land. If you're nice and talented and smart, you'll land on your feet. Let me move on to the list here. Number 6 is actually, maybe we've sort of answered it, but since I wrote it down, this is a top 10 list. I wrote down number 6. Will we ever find out what the mysterious next, I put that in quotes, Star Wars playset was going to be? And I think Abe was sort of saying that you know, we kind of answered that. It was definitely going to be Rebels or Rogue One, probably leaning more on the Rogue One side once the movie, like I feel like maybe they thought they were going to do a Rebels playset with the figures, but then when Star Wars The Force Awakens became the biggest movie of all time, they probably thought, well, we got to jump on that bandwagon. Is that safe to assume?
Yeah, absolutely. But I still think even Rebels, you know, season 2 has been phenomenal. I still feel because the storylines are so close to each other, and it is Disney Infinity, there could have been a way that they could have probably fused both. You know what I mean? Like, you know, this is not part of the episodic saga. It is its own standalone story. So I'm sure they could have, you know, benefited from adding more to it. But again, you know, maybe we'll know in a few months. Hopefully, because I would like to know what we missed out on.
Yeah, this is the big giant question mark, the unanswered questions that are off the top of my head. I'm sure I could probably think of a list of 50, but these are the 10 that I thought of, you know, right away. So this is a big one. This is actually something Abe had brought up, I think maybe in DM or on his podcast, that made me sort of think about it a little more too. And I see a couple people in chat have sort of already asked about this. So number 5 is so now that Disney Infinity is no longer, will games like Lego Dimensions now have the freedom to incorporate characters from Star Wars and Marvel into their Toys to Life video games? So Abe, you have a theory on this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. First off, let's point out one important factor is let's look at the little game known as Battlefront. That game has been licensed out to EA and with the developer DICE. And the way they make those deals, it's to the point where if the game does phenomenal, Disney will profit a lot. If the game doesn't do so well, they don't risk a lot of money, as opposed to Disney Infinity, where, you know, you have all the risk. It's your in-house thing. You know, it costs you a lot of money. So branching over to that, licensing, I mean, they could do a couple of things. They can either license to one of the current Toys to Life categories, like Lego Dimensions, which is the one that makes the most sense. Although I kind of would rather like the stylized figures that we have now as opposed to minifigs, but that one does make the most sense. I don't think they'd ever partner up with Activision in the sense of Skylanders, but I know they could probably start a new venture with Activision and create a brand new Toys to Life game. So you never know, that could happen. And the final theory could also be, which is highly unlikely, but they could license the Disney Infinity game and somebody could continue it. But again, I highly doubt that would happen.
Yeah, there's a few options, you know, that's out there. I mean, obviously Marvel and Star Wars are the two biggest things right now in nerd fandom. I've been playing Uncharted this week, and if Naughty Dog decided to get a Marvel licensed game and do Captain America or Iron Man, I wouldn't be upset with that. They'll be in a crazy world or something. But yeah, it seems likely that there's definitely a little more freedom. Whether or not Lego Dimensions is the answer for that, and those kind of properties move into that world, I guess we'll see, because Lego does do games with Star Wars and Marvel characters, so there's already a family sort of established there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Some people are sort of mentioning, like in chat, I didn't really mention this in this video, although I did mention it in my vlog, but just for a heads up for Disney Infinity people, there is going to be 5 more figures that we know of officially coming out, 3 more Alice in Wonderland figures in May, a couple weeks, and then in June the Finding Dory playset, which we think will have 2 figures, Nemo and Dory. Is that it that we know of, Abe, officially?
That is correct. That is all we are getting, unfortunately. And don't expect a solid date of release. They probably are starting to pop up in retailers now. And the only reason why I'm saying that too is because obviously these retailers are going to want to get rid of their stock, including the new figures. So keep an eye out.
Speaking of that, Nick says, I better get all my figures before they're gone. I don't think these are going to be too difficult to find. I think people are going to put them on clearance, and maybe 10 years from now, there may be a few figures like Syndrome that are still always hard to find because maybe they weren't produced as well. Is there a rare figure that everybody needs to go out and get? Maybe Crystal Mickey? He's kind of, I never see him around.
I was going to say, take advantage of those people who are anger selling their stuff and get your Francesco and your Syndrome, and because like those are really hard to come by. But I was going to say, if you really enjoyed them and treasured them, I wouldn't anger sell them because you might regret it later on. But yeah, I mean, Francesco was definitely one that disappeared, and so did Syndrome. But then they started popping up, at GameStop for resale. So you can probably find a bunch of them now there, or even in the Facebook groups. But yeah, no, I don't think I see mine going anywhere anytime soon. They're a really good decorative piece. I mean, great quality figures. So
are they hanging up above your head? You still look like you're just looking around, like right above you.
I'm in my living room right now, and I have 2 giant DVD, I guess shelves or whatever, bookshelves, and on top of them, I have a baseball bat case that I've used to display them. And I kid you not, the baseball bat case is the same dimension as the DVD shelf. So it looks great in my living room.
Awesome. Yeah, I have no intention of trading in my figures or getting rid of them. I really enjoy the brands and the franchises, and I'm a toy collector. I mean, I collect Tsum Tsums. Like I have, here's some Tsum Tsums here I collect. These are Disney properties, Marvel, and they don't do anything, but they're stuff that I like and enjoy, so I sort of collect them, and they're small enough to go on a toy shelf or a collectible shelf like Abe and I have in our man caves, right?
A man apartment, I guess.
man apartment. All right, so we're getting down to the top 4 things. This is when things get serious, when the fist in the air, and the anger really set in. Maybe not so much with number 4, but definitely the top 3 has me sort of angered. I see a lot of people in chat are talking. Kieran says, how are the Cars figures? I mean, they look great. The Cars will play in the Cars Speedway and stuff, so that's a bonus. Do you have a favorite Cars figure for Kieran, Abe?
I've always loved Lightning McQueen. He's just always been my favorite Cars character. But Mater's awesome too. So
Lightning, the Crystal Lightning McQueen was the first crystal figure I got, and I did a video of that I think has like 300K views or something. That was like when things were all new and crazy and people didn't know what a crystal figure was. So there's a fun memory of him there. Okay, let me get down to the number 4. What is the future of Toy Box TV? When does it end? Will it go on? How will this go? Will it live strong until the end, or will it sort of fizzle out with some interns and hired guns coming in to sort of host and guest and schlep along or something? So Toy Box TV has been this thing that's been going at least over a year, I think. It's a weekly show. They sort of highlight Toy Box community content and news about the Disney Infinity franchise, although they kind of didn't really do a good job of that. So Abe, does the show go out? Does Toy Box TV go out with a bang, or does it fizzle? How long does it last?
I think it could be three possibilities. The first one is we have 2 more episodes left. One is to introduce the last figures, and the second episode would be a goodbye episode. The second idea that I have is possibly a modified Next, because I know Next was supposed to roll out sometime either this week or something. I don't know. Like, we were due for it. And I'm sure they would probably want to edit that and just give us what we are going to get as opposed to what could have been shown up next. And then it would be a goodbye episode as well. And the final option, I think, is absolutely nothing. We probably just get nothing else. Maybe just like a press release and no Toolbox TV. So that's all I can think of as far as what we could get.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Disney Infinity has put together a huge Twitter, Instagram, Facebook following, and it's interesting to like sort of think about, wow, a year from now, like those are just going to be a dead URLs, or something like that. I mean, I've tagged Disney Infinity for 3 years on my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, so it'll be interesting to see that void.
Yeah.
In addition, and we also give shout outs to, all the community sites that have sort of really kind of, have to steer their direction in a different area, I guess, is a good way to say it now.
Yeah. Rebrand.
Yeah, rebrand. I was watching a podcast last night. I think Roger had claimed that I was doing YouTube for he corrected himself, but he originally said 15 years. And I was like, wow, 15 years. It does feel like 15 years.
I think it was 10, right?
It's actually 11 years. I started in summer 2004. So 11 years. This year it'll be 12 years. And I started off doing, I know nobody asked this, but I started off doing arcade and retro games. That's why it's called CoinOpTV. Yep. Started doing modern games a few years after, and then I started getting into Toys Alive game as a toy collector, and that was the genesis. Do you have like an elevator pitch on why you got into Disney Infinity, Abe?
Honestly, I was a huge hardcore computer gamer, and I basically suffered a virus, and my hard drive also blew out. So that was like within 2 weeks that happened. So I was like, you know what, I'm done with gaming, and I saw something like Disney Infinity pop up, and like, you know what, I'll give console gaming a chance again, and because I used to like toys and collecting stuff, and so I gave it a shot, and that's why I jumped into it. And as far as podcasting goes, it wasn't until 2.0 that I was asked to join up with Diz Kingdom and help them out. And since then, I've just been talking to every community, every site. We all work together. So, yeah.
All right, I've been trolling my own chat room saying, "Are you ready for the top 3 unanswered questions for Disney Infinity's closure? Get hyped!" I've never done this before. I've done live streaming and hyping up my own chat room, so I'm my own hype man. But I appreciate the fan support and Abe jumping in. So number 3, what was the intended next Disney original playset we were going to get? Was it going to be Pete's Dragon, Moana? Was it going to be one of the movies from this year? Something down the road? We got Beauty and the Beast live action in 2017, I believe. Abe, if you were going to the casino and a betting man, what would you roll the dice on here?
I'd put all my chips on Moana. And the only reason why I'm saying that is it is the next big hit that's supposed to be for Disney, animated classics or whatnot. But it's also being hyped. It's being hyped a lot. I'm starting to see a lot pop up now, and it just makes sense. I'm sure they didn't want to make the same mistake with Frozen and obviously Zootopia and whatnot. So I'm sure they wanted to jump in and do Moana. So Moana was definitely going to be where I rolled my dice or bet on the table, whatever you want to do.
Put your money on the table. Yeah, I think I'd probably agree with that because I feel like they know that Big Hero 6, Frozen were missed opportunities for play sets. I feel like there's another big one. What was the third sort of
Zootopia?
Zootopia, yes. That's a little too new, so it's like fresh in my mind. I haven't been as angry yet about Zootopia because it was only like a couple months ago. But so probably most likely Moana is probably the case. So who knows? Maybe some sketches, some artwork, some schematics of that. If that was the playset, maybe they'll be released in a Game Informer art. I would love to see Game Informer just say like, you know what? Give us a chance to go and just sort of make an article talking about all the things that could have been and just a little farewell, peace out, kind of thing. That would be great.
Agreed.
All right, let's see number 2 here. What do we got in chat here? Guga places and the Star Wars playsets this year. So not another Star Wars playset. If you're jumping in late, we addressed that on number seven. So watch this back on the archive. Okay, number 2. I'm gonna wrap this up soon. Number 2. Any chance of them releasing the Thanos figure that was teased in Marvel Battlegrounds? Spoiler. Sorry, I didn't give the spoiler alert, but at the end of Marvel Battlegrounds, you get a close-up of Thanos, who looks like he's been Disney Infinity-ized. My fists went up, my hands, my gauntlet was raised. I was ready. Abe, it doesn't sound like this is going to happen, so I don't know if it's still an unanswered question. But again, can we slide a Kickstarter money over to JV's pocket at all?
One of the excuses given to all of us about them shutting down was inventory in warehouses. The last thing they want to do is create more inventory. So absolutely not. I believe, actually, no, I'm 100% sure 5 more figures is all we have left. That's
Five more figures. We'll recap. So 3 Alice in Wonderland figures, 2 Finding Dory and Nemo figures. What are the 3 Alice figures?
It's Alice, Mad Hatter, and Time.
And out of those, what's your most anticipated?
Probably Mad Hatter, because it's going to be my 3rd Johnny Depp in the series and my final one. So, yeah.
So speaking of Johnny Depp, there'll be officially 3 Johnny Depp figures.
Yeah.
Tonto and Jack Sparrow. Is there any chance that Johnny Depp, who is blood is in the Disney franchise, pulls a check out of his checkbook and writes a check to Disney Interactive to say, keep making this game with figures? Is there any Save Me campaign that could happen with a guy like Johnny Depp or a famous celebrity?
I highly doubt it. I don't even know if he knows he's in the game because I'm sure somebody else voices him in the games anyway. So I hate to be rude or anything like that, but I doubt it. I think the biggest shot we would have is Angelina Jolie. She was a huge advocate of Disney Infinity, hence why we got the Jolificent version of her. So
yes.
But yeah, that would be the best hope. Unfortunately, I think she'd rather put her money into orphans in other countries or something like that. So
yes, Johnny is too busy smuggling dogs into foreign countries to worry about Disney Infinity. And to be fair, he's out there promoting Alice, and he is involved in the Disney and family, just not so much Disney Infinity. Okay, here it is. Number 1. I'm seeing some people mention number 1. Okay, Jose V, I think so, to guess what number 1 is. Yeah, he said, don't forget Peter Pan. So number 1 on my list, will that Peter Pan figure ever get released? So last year at the Toy Box Summit, the Toy Box Master Creators, Builders, whatever they called them, got together in a secret room. It was like an FBI Secret Service meeting of the joint heads of secret Secretary of States or whatever. I'm really rambling here, but anyway, they got in the room and they decided the fans are gonna together and decide which figure will be created for Disney Infinity. And they chose Peter Pan. I actually have a little prop here. I've got my Peter Pan, Tsum Tsum there. Not the same as the Disney Infinity figure. So it sounds like from Abe and what we're hearing that this isn't going to happen. Is again like Thanos. You're shaking your head. Is there any chance Peter Pan sneaks out down the pipeline?
I'm shaking my head because we were so close. I think we were very, very close. I think he would have been in production, I don't know, maybe as we speak, if they would have, kept the line going. We were so close of him being produced. If he would have been produced, then of course they would have had no choice in releasing him. I feel like he was delayed for some reason. I feel like maybe they had more in store. Maybe they wanted to surprise us. I don't know. The only thing that I do know is that we were this close to getting him. And it's unfortunate because, it would have been a nice send-off. That would have been, instead of finishing out the year like everybody's been asking, I think ending it with Peter Pan would have been a better send-off, to be honest with you, because it was the fans' choice. When I say fans, these are true huge toy box builders, huge fans of the game. And they were listening to all of us when it was time for them to vote. And Peter Pan seemed to be the one that beat out Darkwing Duck yet again, which is another bummer we'll never get. And the Fab Five will never be complete without Goofy. I mean, there's just so many figures that we're not going to get anymore. But yeah, Peter, unfortunately, is going to be in Never Never Land. permanently. So
we got the Tinkerbell figures, so we got half here. I have the Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
So we got half the battle with Tinkerbell. Nerd Battle came in chat and said, "Who are you? Where's Rob?" That's Abe, my buddy from Diz Kingdom. He's co-hosting this little podcast with me, talking Disney Infinity closures. So Abe, there's my 10. Before we wrap it up, is there something dramatic that I might have missed that is also a big giant question mark on the
dramatic?
No, what will happen?
No drama. I mean, obviously, if there's some miracle, then the game would be brought back, but I don't think so. The only thing that I do suggest is if you really loved your Infinity figures and your game, the game will still be there. So don't anger sell your stuff. You can still play whatever's on the disc. Definitely download your favorite toy boxes and keep them on your hard drive. That way you can play them. And finally, download any of the content that you can that's DLC, like Marvel Battlegrounds, and obviously the new figures that are coming out. Of course, check out Nemo, the last playset we'll ever get. I've been told it's phenomenal. Then again, we've always been told that they're all great. But this is swimming mechanics. It's something that we, as the fans, asked for, and we got it. So check it out. Those two figures, Nemo and Dory, look phenomenal as well. I love the way they turned out, and I guess it's the best. Unfortunately, the best way to send us off, because that's all we're getting. So.
Yeah, it's a somber goodbye, but I'll be doing some gameplay with the 3 Alice figures, and then in June I'll do some gameplay, some unboxing with the Dory figures and playset, and make it out. And I'll probably go back and do some more Inside Out. I'll be milking some Disney Infinity content on my channel for as long as you guys are watching or interested. Marvel Battlegrounds is still a fun thing. It's not going away. It exists already. So whenever I won't feel like battling some Civil War Marvel characters and stuff like that, I'll jump in. I'm sure Abe and Roger and all the guys over there will be doing a lot more Disney stuff as we go. So so thanks a bunch, Abe, for jumping in, and all you guys out there. And I'll put links to Diz Kingdom and Abe's Twitter in the description when I archive this. So this will be archived on my YouTube channel. Still sort of figuring out a good time to go live. This is kind of a newsy thing, and I had a little more time today, so I wanted to sort of jump in and do kind of a little recap of some of my things after I had a day to kind of sit on the information. So shout outs and thanks to all you guys watching the live stream, and shout outs to you, Abe. Thanks for jumping in.
No problem, man. Happy to be here. And hopefully we'll have other games to play soon.
Yes. Cool. Well, thanks a bunch, all you guys. Give yourself an Disney Infinity fist bump in chat. I don't want to give all the shout outs right now because we actually have a lot of people more than normal live stream. It's strange how something bad happens and people sort of come out, So make sure you check out, both of our YouTube channels and watch. We've got hundreds of videos about Disney Infinity already up to sort of play catch up on if you're sort of new. So, all right. Well, thanks a bunch. We'll see you guys next time. Later.
Laters.